Hello again, Adrian Cosman-Jones here from Onsite Helper. This video will be showing you all about Google Forms. We'll start off with an overview of Google Forms, explaining what it is and what it can do. How you can view responses in Google Sheets as graphs. How to set up email notifications for a Google form. How to embed a form in an email. And finally, some possible Google Form alternatives. All right, to get started, the easiest way to open up Google Forms is open up a new tab in Google Chrome. Click on your 9 G Suite apps and scroll down to Google Forms. You can also open it up via Google Drive by creating a new form document from the menu. Just click on the plus symbol here for new. Just click on more. Select Google Form. So this creates a new Google form for you. You want to give it a title. So we might just call it customer survey. Put a little description in here, and then you start basically putting in your questions. So you can choose between different form questions. You can have multiple choice, checkboxes, drop down, all sorts of things. Grid, time, date, paragraph. So let's just put in the first question. How would you rate support? Then you put in your first option. Great. In this case, because it's a rating, you'd probably want to choose a linear scale. So you say 1 to 5, so 1 being poor and 5 being awesome. You can make it a required question. Obviously, if that's enabled, then they have to answer this question before submitting the form. And then, yeah, basically into that, you can click plus for another question or import another title, add an image. In this case, we'll add another question. This one can be, would you return again? And again, this one might be just a simple yes or no. So choose add another question. This would be no. Then you can also select other as well. So that's basically a quick form. From then you can see responses. So if anyone fills in this form, you start getting the responses. But to start off with, you need to let everyone know about the form. So the best way to do it is to click send once you're happy with the form. Now you can just get the URL, copy this URL. You could even make it a short URL. So it just shortens the URL a little bit. Otherwise, we find that it's best to send them via email. So in this case, we'll send an email, send it to myself. Now this part's important. If you tick on this option here, include form in the email, what that will do is actually embed the Google form into the email. So if they're using Gmail or other sort of web email clients, they can actually fill in the form without having to open up a new window. Instead of sending it to one person, you might send it to an email group. And I'll teach you how to set up email groups from the G Suite admin console later on. So in that case, we just send it and off it goes. So if we open up Gmail, here we can see that emails come through, customer survey. And just make this a bit bigger. As you can see, you can actually fill in submit the form directly in email. So here we can see the response. It's been recorded. Might be a good idea to edit this message, personalize it a bit. To do that, you jump back into the form, click on settings, which is a cog icon. And then under presentation, you just want to change the confirmation message. So, thanks, please give us a Google review. Some other things you can do, so you can show the progress bar, so they can see a little bar at the bottom to see how they're progressing if it's going over multiple pages. You can shuffle the question order. If you want to collect their email addresses, so they have to put an email address, or when they, it'll require them to sign in, and that'll add it to your answers database. Obviously, you can keep it internally as well, so prevent it from going externally. You can allow them to edit their answers after they submit or not, as well as see the summary, so see how other people have what other people answered for those questions were. Finally, you can even make it a quiz, so you just enable that, and then obviously configure the settings how you like it as well. So I'll just save that one. So you might want to customize your form a little bit more just to make it a bit more appealing. So to do that, click on Customize Theme. Obviously, you can change the colors, maybe upload an image at the start. So you can use an existing image or upload one yourself by clicking on Upload. Just use this jelly bean one. And obviously change the font and that type of thing as well. So if you want to see what the form looks like, if people weren't to edit the form directly in the email, they clicked on the link and opened it up, you can just click on Preview here. And yeah, it's basically the form there. So once you've got a few responses, you might want to have a look at what the responses are, obviously. So to do that, go back to your form and you can just click on the Responses tab here. And this will just give you some nice graphical outputs. Obviously, once you've got a bit of data, it'll fill in the graphs as per each question for the responses. The other thing you can do is you can open up in a Google Sheet to see specifically what the answers were. So the first time, it's obviously going to create a new sheet for you. So I'll just call it Survey Responses, or you could update the results to an existing spreadsheet, which will add a new tab. So rather than creating multiple spreadsheets. So in this case, yeah, it's going to open up a new Google Sheet and show the questions and the answers, as well as a timestamp of when that was submitted by the person. The other thing you might want to do is be notified when someone fills in the form. So you could set up notifications to happen each day to give you a summary, or immediately when someone fills in the form, so you could act right away, especially if this was maybe like a sales type inquiry form. Yeah, you want to get notified right away. So if you click on Tools and go to Notification Rules, here you've got the notification rules settings. You can specify, notify me, I'm the creator, when any changes are made, or maybe a user submits a form, and then email me right away, or maybe just email me daily. So save that. So yeah, now if anyone was to fill in the form and click submit, I'd get an email in my inbox showing the results, and then I can obviously open this spreadsheet up or look at the Google Form graphs as well. So there are a few other things you can do with Google Forms. Just open up the form again. We'll go back to the questions here. So there's some add-ons. If you go to just with many G Suite services, there's other third-party companies which enhance the product. So if you go into click on the three little dots there and then go to add-ons, this will show you all the third-party companies. So you can just have a bit of a read and just see what some of these tools do. I use this particular one. You can see it's installed, called Doc Appender. can see 4.4 million people are using it. It's got a good review as well. So what this one will do is it actually convert your answers into a Google Doc. So rather than it displaying in a spreadsheet, it'll output it into a Google Doc. So you can have a bit of a read about how it works and some good examples of what it's used for. So there's also another form application we use internally, but it's not actually part of Google Forms. It's another company called Jotform, and I'll show you what that does. This is just another alternative to Google Forms. It's a lot more powerful. It gives you sort of other options. And what we use this form is a work request form. So if I just go to my resources page and click on Onsite Helper work request form, this is what our clients sometimes fill in when they're requesting some work rather than having to call us or sending us an email. They put in all their details. And where this is a little bit different from Google Form is depending on what their answers here. So if they click on, this is a new issue, let's say they want an on-site tech to come to their premises, and then this just basically popped up with some different questions so they can put in their preferred date and time. Whereas if, based on, depending on what their answers are, they'll get prompted with different questions. So this is more of a dynamic form, which builds out based on the answers which are provided. Google Forms doesn't go to this sort of level. So you might want to take a look at Jotform as well. And this is just can Google Jotform. Takes a little bit to configure it, but it is a far more advanced form building tool. And can be free for simple usage as well, which we do. So that pretty much wraps up the Google Forms demo. I hope you got some value out of it. There's lots of things you can use Google Forms for. Just have a play with it. And if you've got any questions, yell out. Cheers.